I've generated over £2 million for my clients, and every single one of them came to me with the same problem. They had clients, some had a decent following, but they were trapped on the content treadmill, trapped in their DMs, trapped trading their time for money with no real way out. See, most wellness coaches think they have a marketing problem. If I just get more views, more followers, more engagement, but that's not it. You don't have a marketing problem, you have a system problem. Because here's what actually happens. You post content, maybe you get views, maybe you even get clients, but then what? Someone signs up with you, they then leave, and you're back to square one. Creating more content, chasing more clients, and never really getting ahead. Today, I'm going to show you the complete growth ecosystem that I've built for over 50 businesses. The same systems that took one client from 3k a month all the way up to 6 figures a month. This isn't just theory, this is the exact blueprint. And by the end, you'll realize that most coaches are leaving 80% of revenue on the table. Let's break it down. Most coaches think it's organic content or paid ads. Wrong. The coaches making serious money, they use both. And they use them differently. Organic content is your brand builder, your authority mechanism, your way of showing people that you know what you're talking about. Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, but here's where most coaches go wrong. Your organic content isn't there to sell, it's there to position. That's kind of why I'm making this video myself. Your organic content should do three things. Demonstrate authority. Show you know your stuff. Create relatability. Share your journey, your struggles. Generate demand. Make people think, I need what they have. Now we move into paid ads. And this is where most wellness coaches screw up. They either run ads too early or they just run ads and throw money at the wall and hope they bring some clients. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. Most wellness coaches just sound like everyone else. The ads are the same, the script may as well be the same, and they all send them to Instagram. This is a big no-no because realistically, from your Instagram, you're not going to get sales. You'll get followers, and even those followers probably won't buy from you. They're just, oh, that looks good. I'll follow them. But here's the thing. They probably do that with 20 other coaches. Here's my rule. If you're wanting to generate leads from your ads, just get their name, email, and phone number, whether it's with Facebook lead forms, whether it's with a landing page, a lead magnet. That's going to be the best use of your ad spend, not followers, unfortunately. Once you start getting contact details, ads become a multiplier. We usually run ads on Meta, Instagram, and Facebook, and it's usually for one reason: to scale what's already working. If your organic content gets you 2 to 3 clients a month, ads could get you 10 to 15, but only if the next part is dialed in. Because getting attention is easy. Turning it into revenue, that's where what happens under the surface really matters. Here's the moment most coaches lose. Someone sees your content, they're interested, and maybe even drop a follow. Then nothing, they forget, and they're gone. And just like that, you lose a potential £2,000 client. This is where a solid lead magnet comes in. And no, I don't mean link in bio to book a call. I mean a strategic lead magnet that does two things: captures their email and moves them to your owned audience. And also, one, captures their email and moves them away from your rented audience into your owned audience. And two, delivers immediate value. It builds trust instantly and ideally solves just one small problem within, say, 10 minutes. For wellness coaches, the best lead magnets are a quick win routine, such as a 5-minute mobility flow or a 10-minute stress reset, a diagnostic tool, a pain assessment quiz, an energy audit, or something like that. Help them discover their problems. A mini course, a 3-day breathwork challenge, a 7-day posture fix, something that they can really dial into and get value out of, not just a copy and paste workout plan. Something that they can get real value out of and something they would pay for otherwise. So notice what all of these have in common. They solve one specific problem fast. They don't promise transformation. They promise a result someone can get in the next 10 minutes. When I built my first lead magnet, it was terrible. It was a Notion page and it was so long. And it pretty much broke down everything that I knew. And that's not useful because I've learnt that over an 8-year period. So for someone to digest that and get anything out of it, it's more word vomit. And it probably causes more confusion. When I changed it to a simple breakdown of how to improve your landing page, people lapped it up. So yeah. And here's the psychology behind it. So people don't want to commit to big things from strangers, but a small win, they'll more than likely take that. And once they're on your email list, you own that relationship. Instagram could change their algorithm tomorrow. Your account gets banned, doesn't matter. You have their email and you can reach them whenever you want. This is your insurance policy, your business asset, your leverage. Most coaches have 10,000 followers, 100,000 followers, and no emails. If someone was to have 3,000 followers and 800 emails versus someone with 10,000 followers and no emails, guess who would make more money? But getting the email is only half the battle. Okay, so they've now downloaded your lead magnet, they're on your email list. Now what? Most coaches do two things. They'll send nothing, or they'll send a load of spam and nothing that the reader actually wants to read. They just end up unsubscribing. Here's what actually works. An automated email sequence that's between 7 and 14 days that does one thing. Moves them from interested to ready to buy. Here's the breakdown. Email 1 delivers the lead magnet and introduces yourself as a real human, because that's what you are, right? Emails 2 and 3 add value. Emails 4 and 5, they handle objections and share case studies, show that what you're talking about works. Email 6 is the invitation, so it's a super soft sell and maybe throw in a few more case studies too. Email 7 is then continued value and periodic invitations. From here, you can add them to your main newsletter to be super efficient. The goal isn't to sell in every email. The goal is to build a relationship so when you do sell, it feels more natural. When I set up a client's email list, the first initial thought they had was, oh no, like spam and things like that. But here's what happened. Those emails converted more leads into booked calls, appointments and sales than just their following alone would have done. And they didn't have to send a single DM. It saved them a ton of time because there was a repeatable process happening in the background. So let's break it down. Someone sees your content, they download a lead magnet that solves a very specific problem. They get nurtured by email, they book themselves in for a call, and they become a client. No DM back and forth or anything like that. But here's where it gets interesting. Because once someone's a client, most coaches stop. They deliver the service, get the result, and then that's it. And they're leaving thousands on the table. Now, let me ask you something. How much does it cost for you to get a new client in time, in content, in ad spend? Now, how much does it cost to sell to an existing client? Almost nothing. They already trust you, they already seen results, and they see value in what you do. This is where a value ladder comes in. Most coaches have a single offer, one service, one price point. But all of the biggest coaches or creators or businesses have multiple price points with the intention of maximizing their revenue. For example, at the very bottom, we have the free lead magnet. obviously it costs nothing. And then we could have a small low ticket offer between 20 to £95. It's an easier sell to make than a £10,000 12-month super crazy coaching program. It softens the blow. In the middle rung, you can then have your main coaching offer. So at this point, someone has got your free lead magnet. For example, they've bought a personalized exercise plan, and to be fair, they're already seeing results. So when you pitch your main coaching offer, to them it just makes sense. There's no sleazy sales tactics, no high pressure sales tactics. It's just what works. You see, once someone has then completed your main coaching offer, they may reach a point where they don't need your services anymore. That's where you can then introduce a high ticket program, or you could then move into a monthly recurring subscription to maximize your revenue. And here's what happens. Someone downloads your free lead magnet, gets results. They then see you have a low ticket offer, gets a result once more. They upgrade to your core offer, gets results once more. They move to your high ticket offer or join your community. One client, 3 sales and potentially 8,000 plus in lifetime value versus the one sale of 1,500 and then nothing. When I first started out with my web design, I was so focused on getting new clients. I never thought about serving the ones that I had at a deeper level. Then one of my clients was asking me, do you do SEO? Do you do ads? And I had nothing. That client then found the services elsewhere and I lost out on revenue. Let's get this straight. Your value ladder isn't about squeezing as much money out of someone as possible. It's about serving them better at each stage in their journey. But even with all of this, there's a ceiling, because everything that we've talked about so far requires your time. And time, that's one thing you can't scale, unless... This is one thing most wellness coaches overlook. And it's the difference between them going from 5k a month all the way up to 50, 100k a month. Digital products. Not as a replacement for coaching, but as a complement. Think about it. You have knowledge, you have systems, you have frameworks that you repeat with every single client. What if you package them? For example, a self-paced course, templates, tools, memberships, communities, group programs. These are all assets and they work while you sleep and they scale infinitely. You create them once and you sell them forever. Okay, so let's pull this all back together. We have attract, which is organic content and paid ads bringing in attention. We then have convert stage 1, which is where the sole focus is to get the email or details of your lead. We then have convert number 2, which is turning that lead into a sale. We then have retain, which is a value ladder to better serve your client at each stage of their journey and also for you to maximize revenue. And finally, we have scale, utilizing digital products to add leverage in your business and start buying back your time. This is an ecosystem. And here's what most coaches don't realize. You don't need all of this on day one. When I first started, I was literally just doing manual outreach. Then I added a lead magnet. Then I added email sequences. And then more products or services. It's a system that you build in stages. But once it's built, you're not a coach trading your time for money anymore. You're a business owner with a machine that generates revenue for you. You have leverage. I've helped countless businesses implement systems like these. Some are at 10k months, some are at 50k months, some at 6-figure months. But the difference isn't talent. It's not their following or it's not their niche. It's whether they have a system to predictably turn attention into revenue. It's ultimately whether they have an ecosystem. If you're a coach doing 3k plus a month and you want help building a system just like this, I work with founders just like you through alch. Links in the description or DM me system on Instagram. Either way, hopefully this was helpful so you can stop trading your time for money. Build an ecosystem, not another job.